This one, a UFO mystery at one of the nation's busiest airports. Several pilots, apparently, and United Airlines workers at Chicago's O'Hare swear they saw one, a UFO. They say it hovered over a terminal without lights before shooting straight up right through the clouds last fall. The FAA still is investigating, but federal officials believe it was just some strange weather phenomenon.
Flights come to Chicago's O'Hare Airport from all over the world. But do they come from other worlds?
You don't believe this was possibly your imagination?
It was definitely not my imagination.
Joe is a mechanic for United Airlines. While taxiing a jumbo jet to the hangar, he and another mechanic
Looked out the window in the general direction and noticed an object up in the sky, dark gray object sitting above the terminal complex.
Joe, which is not his real name, is one of several airport workers, some of whom have talked to the Chicago Tribune, who say they saw a saucer-shaped UFO hovering just beneath the clouds at the airport. He's the first to go on camera to talk about it since this happened several weeks ago. He wants to remain anonymous.
But you're sure it was some kind of object that normally would not be above O'Hare Airport?
I've been at O'Hare for quite some time, and let's just say that I've never seen an object in my time there that looked like this. And I'll tell you, definitely, it was not an airplane as we know it.
But it could be an airplane as another world knows it.
Possibly.
We brought in one of Chicago's top sketch artists
Followed the contours of the object.
to listen to Joe and draw a picture of what he says he saw.
More of like an oval, dark gray oval.
Because no photos have surfaced, and Joe doesn't know of any.
Now, it didn't say Goodyear on it, did it?
No Goodyear, no. That's a really good drawing.
Is that what it looks like?
Very much so, yeah.
Other witnesses told an organization called the National UFO Reporting Center that the object eventually shot straight up in the sky at a great rate of speed.
It looked like literally someone had poked a hole in the clouds. Just a round hole.
Joe thinks the disk is either a stealthy military project or a spacecraft from another planet. But
I find it very strange or very peculiar that somebody who possesses the technology to travel between star systems would sit over an airport in Chicago.
hard to argue that. A spokesperson for United Airlines says, "We are aware of what the employees said they saw, but this is not something United would investigate. Talk to the FAA," says the airline. The TSA and the Chicago Department of Aviation also told us to talk to the FAA. So we did. And an FAA spokesperson told us we too don't have the power to investigate. The FAA adds that radar did not pick up anything out of the ordinary, and the sighting might have been caused by a weather phenomenon.
And you don't believe it was a weather phenomenon?
Not at all. Not for a minute.
O'Hare has apparently been UFO-free since that November afternoon, although Joe now tends to pay special attention to that same patch of airport sky. Gary Tuckman, CNN, Chicago.
Oh, hey, here's John. Hey, John.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Well, fine, thanks. How are you?
Busy with this UFO
oh,
stuff.
my God.
Just
Did you see it hit the Fox crawl Monday night?
Did it? It's just
Yes.
been everywhere. I mean, I've been on CNN, my fourth appearance today.
Really?
Every MSNBC, every network.
Oh, my goodness.
And just worldwide. I mean,
Yeah.
Australia, everywhere.
That's what we're going to start off, I'm going to say. And John, the response has been, well, out of this world, hasn't it? Congratulations. So where's the latest on the investigation, the FAA, then?
Well,
is it by this time tomorrow going to prove
yeah, United is now acknowledging that they were approached by employees.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done that flip-flop. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to locate photos of this. I'm told there may be photos.
Really? Wow. That would be cool. I'm told that the story on CT
Right.
has almost 1 million hits.
Yeah, it's the most read story in the history of CT.com.
You're kidding me.
No, I got an email yesterday from Bill Adee.
Wow.
I mean, it's like, yeah, and the entire history of the website.
Oh, incredible.
So,
Incredible. So does the possibility exist? You might get the pictures and get them in for tomorrow? Or
oh no, I don't think. No. I mean, I'm told the pilots on that plane that was being pushed back. You know, I said in the story that they opened the windscreen and stuck their head out. Now I'm being told that one of them had a digital camera and snapped some pictures.
Wow.
So United is not playing ball with me, and FAA, I've expanded my FOIA to include the flight plan, which might include the pilots' names. and I'm trying to work with the union as well.
Are they still going by weather phenomenon?
FAA, pretty much because of the federal holiday, I haven't talked to them that much. But yeah, they haven't changed their story, and I've just heard from other people, since then that that explanation just doesn't wash.
And they haven't gone out of their way to say anything otherwise so far.
No, I mean they say it was November 7th. They're moving on. They're just doing their daily thing.
Well, I tell you what, all the people who saw it must be feeling a little validated right about now, huh?
Oh yeah, and I'm getting tons of emails from other people who outside the airport as well as at O'Hare
Really?
who also either cited that same object or saw the hole in the sky and said, "What is that?"
Wow. Okay, so what did it look like again to the folks who saw it? It was a saucer-like object
it was
hovering over the United terminal, right?
Yeah, directly over gate C-17. And it was stationary in the sky, dark gray metallic, like I say, saucer-shaped, no lights, and it was there for some minutes. And then when it disappeared, it just streaked through the clouds with such energy that it broke a big blue hole in the overcast, and the hole remained there for several minutes until the wind drifted and pushed the clouds back together.
So the blue was the sky.
Yeah, the blue was the sky, but otherwise the entire skyline was cloudy.
Totally overcast, huh? Man.
So it's nothing. An airplane just doesn't react like that. It does. It slices through, and it doesn't disturb the atmosphere.
Man.
I'm so sorry to keep you guys waiting. Our EP is requesting all these different graphics.
Do you have other interviews set up after this, John?
Yeah, I'm going back on a radio station, a couple of radio stations this afternoon, and then Headline News has a show I'm doing at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Ooh, I'll have to watch if I'm... Yeah, I'll be off the set by then. Okay, Australia, what other international?
Oh my God! I mean, all over Europe.
Oh my gosh!
Hearing from people, Ireland, they say, we heard about what's happening at O'Hara.
You're kidding.
I mean,
Butch O'Hara.
I mean, just as well as serious, researchers at major U.S. universities who've attempted to do their own investigations, and when they go to the government to try to get information, they get stonewalled. So there really is this universal feeling that the government knows a lot more than it's willing to tell.
Oh, man. Okay. Okay.
I'm just going to say...
Okay, here we go.
But
I think it's so cool that I was the first one to get to talk to you about it.
That's right, last Friday.
Yay. Okay. The UFO hair story the Chicago Tribune exclusively broke on New Year's Day is garnering attention around the world. Joining us now to talk about it once again is Tribune transportation writer John Hilkovich, who broke the story. And John, the response has been, well, out of this world, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been astronomical, Jim. Every major country, it seems, people have written in, both those who claim they've spotted UFOs during their life, as well as serious researchers. I mean, just the last 2 days, this is my email, and these are the serious emails. The ones from kooks who said they were brought aboard alien spacecraft, I put in a circular file. So it's just a story that has legs, and people are fascinated by the thought, and I think there's some belief that there are advanced life forms that are visiting us here on a regular basis.
You've been contacted now in the last few days by several countries, but that also includes serious university researchers here in the U.S. I've got to tell you, too, I got a call from my dad in California Monday night, and he's like, what is up with the O'Hare UFO story? I'm like, where did you see that? Where did you read that? Well, it was on Fox Network's Crawl. At the bottom. It's just amazing how much this is garnering.
Yeah, it really is, and worldwide attention, as you say, and from people who have made observations themselves, including on November 7th, the date of this incident, additional people both at O'Hare and outside the airport who have either seen this gray disc-shaped metallic object themselves, or they saw that huge hole in the sky that the object created when it vanished.
Let's go over that one more time. What did people see when it all of a sudden vanished right through the clouds over the United terminal. And then how's the FAA been reacting the past few days too? Any new ground on that?
Okay. Well, the object was hovering in a stationary position about 1,500 feet above the United terminal for some minutes, and then when it left, it just burst through this thick cloud layer, creating a large open space of blue sky on an otherwise overcast day. It took some minutes for that opening to close up when the clouds drifted back together. And it's just extremely unusual, according to the witnesses. I mean, airplanes just don't react like this. They slice through clouds, and they really don't disturb the atmosphere that much, except for the wingtips and such. The FAA is still, pinning this to some kind of weather phenomenon, that some lights from the airport and the overcast skies somehow got together and created this image. But weather experts, astronomy experts, others that I've talked to said that that's bunk. That explanation just doesn't wash. United, on the other hand, after first denying that they got any reports from employees about this sighting, is now saying, yes, indeed, their employees did approach them immediately because of concerns about safety.
And to reiterate, John, the witnesses who originally came to you are all seasoned, professional, credible professionals, like pilots who saw this.
They're pilots, they're senior managers, they're mechanics, and others. So, they are very truthful about what they're saying, and we're trying to locate photographs, if they do exist, of this incident.
Well, John, we know you have plenty of other interviews to do today with other countries, so we'll let you go, and we'll keep our eyes to the sky. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
We're just checking it with good things.
This is just incredible. Isn't it amazing what really garners people's...
Yeah.
For various reasons, I suppose,
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, no, it's...
I can't wait to see in a week where this stands,
Yeah. I'm just amazed I'm still getting requests for interviews because...
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. You're clear. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay,
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
would have landed, but...
John Breckovich is here. Now, why don't we tell you, this is the UFO story that was mentioned on the Colbert Report last night. This is, what, a 4-year-old story?
Yeah, the story ran January 1st, 2007, based on a alleged incident that occurred at O'Hare above gate C-17 on November 7th, 2006. Reason there was a several-month lag in us reporting it, or even deciding whether to report it at all, was that I had to track down the witnesses of this alleged incident. And what fascinated me was the fact that these were all such credible observers. These were pilots, these were ramp workers and mechanics who were jockeying planes back and forth from the hangar, who all, down to a person, reported the exact same sighting. This metallic gray spear-shaped or disc-shaped object hovering stationary in place about 1,500 feet above gate C-17. And then they all described this departure where it just left suddenly with such velocity and speed that it poked this donut-shaped hole in what was otherwise a very cloud-covered sky that day.
Huh. So it's an intriguing story.
Right.
That you reported in the Tribune, and then its new life is what?
Well, its new life is there's a new book by an author named Leslie Kean, and Miss Kean was on the Colbert Report last night. And she brought up the O'Hare sighting, in which Stephen Colbert said he had never heard of it, so he asked, how do I find that on Google? And that unleashed the floodgates.
So this morning, did you watch the Colbert Report last night?
I did not.
So how did you find out about this?
Well, two ways. One, I got an early morning call from a producer at WGN Radio asking me to come on. And I had just had my first cup of coffee. So I okay, so what's the news here? This is almost a 4-year-old story. And then shortly after that, I received, as I do almost every day, emails from UFO enthusiasts and researchers who were talking about this the Colbert Report the previous night. So I quickly got up to speed. Let me repeat that. I quickly got up to speed on what was happening.
So let me ask you, in this event, what is the most credible aspect of this event? I think maybe we're getting into this. Most credible aspect of this purported UFO sighting is?
Well, the most credible part is that pilots, numerous pilots, including the 2 pilots at C-17, opened their windows and peered out the cockpit, and both saw in great detail, what they, perceived to be a UFO. And they said it couldn't have been a light show. It could not have been a weather phenomenon, as the FAA later said it must have been. And I have documentation between United Airlines managers to their bosses saying, we've received reports of this from our employees. What do we do? Some of these employees were brought in, interviewed, even asked to draw sketches of what they saw. So what's equally important is not just that the caliber of these witnesses, but the Tribune's ability to document, for no better word, a cover-up by both United Airlines and the FAA, because when I went to both parties, they flatly said they knew nothing about this, that my call was the first information they received. And in fact, I have correspondence that shows that they clearly were told about it and communicated internally and externally about it.
And so what is the, is there anything that blows a hole in this thing?
Well, what blows a hole in this theory is that no air traffic controller saw it, that nobody with a camera phone at O'Hare happened to snap a picture of this, and this spaceship, if it was so, is long gone.
So an alien abduction case, but in the figurative sense, it has abducted your day.
It has abducted my day. I have put aside 2 or 3 other stories, and I'm working on this today.